Hello, Leo. Welcome to March. Oh, we got a card already. Well, we'll start with this one. Okay, so what's going on? Devil is intense, always. He brings out the stuff. He brings out the ego stuff. He brings out the childhood issues and psychology stuff, but it's all for our own self-awareness. If we don't really know what our walls are, what our boundaries are, what our blockages are, then how can we ever really know who we are? You don't have to you can have those things and not let them bother you, but it's a matter of knowing what you've got so you know not to let them bother you. Usually this comes about through interpersonal relationships. Usually. Sometimes life circumstances, something happens with your home or something happens with your job, the company gets sold. Obviously, that doesn't have anything to do with you and your significant other, but it's just life. It's the stuff that life gives us, and you can either choose to experience suffering or you can choose to flow. When you choose suffering, you're banging your head against the wall for something, and it's just not worth it. You're clinging to something, you're attached to something, and it's just not worth it. Sometimes the obstacles are there for a reason. We have this narrative in our society of push through, push through, push through. But sometimes those obstacles are trying to get you to take a detour. And Pisces season is about fluidity. And I've been saying this in all the readings so far. It's, like mutable water. It's like the rivers, moving through the mountains, and they hit up against a rock and they just go around it. That's what this season is for. When your ego comes out to play in Pisces season, it is not friendly. Yeah, okay, ego comes out to play in Leo season. It's healthy, it's strong. Aries season, healthy, strong. Capricorn, it's good, right? It has a place. And right now we are learning how to humble ourselves, and unfortunately it can be tough. But you can also just choose to be humble. You can choose to not get worked up. You can choose to not get offended. Or fine, feel offended. Who cares? Feel offended. You don't have to retaliate. Doesn't matter. Opinions are just opinions. Here's a card of peace. Stillness of mind, meditation. This is always the answer. I'm sorry. This is the blanket answer. If you ever have a question in your life, meditate. Pray. Communicate with life itself. It will answer you. Right? It will answer you. Those swords, I don't know why I see this imagery on this card. If I ever design my own deck, this card is actually going to be 3 icicles hanging off of a roof, and they're going to be dripping onto the person's head, like knowledge coming down into you from the other world. It's the way we access stuff. It's the way ideas come through us. It's the way answers come through us. And your subconscious is not in a place of rest. High Priestess reverse. We had 3 other cards fall out, so. Your subconscious is agitated because it's I want to tell you something, I want to tell you something, I want to tell you something. And right now, that veil, because of the Neptune Sun thing, the veil between what we can perceive with our 5 senses and what we can perceive with our other senses, there's not a lot of difference right now. I think our guts are really talking to us. I think our hearts are really talking to us, and we're feeling a lot of things. And hopefully a lot of those messages are really clear. If you're faced with some kind of a problem and you don't know what to do, you're lying to yourself. That's why you've got this. This is a product of you lying to yourself. I don't think you really have a problem. I think you know what to do. I think you know what your heart is saying. And sometimes you need to just kind of eject yourself from life a little bit, right? Four of Swords. You need to eject yourself from life a little bit so that you can just simply hear. So you can hear yourself. Ten of Cups. Joy, happiness, victory. King of Wands. What you really want is fulfillment and satisfaction. Whatever path you're trying to make happen, Ten of Cups cannot be forced. Ten of Cups is a state of being. Actually, the King of Wands has been making quite the appearance this month. Quite the appearance. So what I've been saying, and I'll say it to you guys too, it's especially relevant for you. Getting 2 cards of Leo coming out here, actually. This is a Leo card, right? The number 6 associated with the fixed sign of that element. So fixed fire is you guys. So, King of Wands. He's complete. The salamander on his throne in the back there, in a circle, and the salamanders on his robes in a complete circle suggests that he is complete. And the completion, he is on his throne. I said this to Cancer too. All the kings and queens are on their thrones. Why? Because they know where the power is. They know that power is in stillness. And I don't mean physically being still always. It's stillness of consciousness. And through stillness, you can change and adjust your state of being. And you can just be a 10 of Cups at any moment. Usually, this occurs because we're living in some kind of an illusion. Because we're so trapped in the illusion of this life. We're trapped in the Maya, the matrix, right? But at any minute we can unplug. Just like that. Boom. It's a choice. And I think there's a part of you that is starting to really understand how to do that. Those of you who have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, right? Pick up a book by Osho, or pick up a book, the I Ching or the Kabbalion, or like any of those like wisdom texts. Like pick up some of those and just start reading them and just start understanding more about what this consciousness is. Read The Untethered Soul, read The Surrender Experiment, read The Seat of the Soul, read The Power of Now. Like these are all like really, really famous books. Like do yourself a favor and educate yourself a little bit if you don't know what I'm talking about, because it's going to set you free. Okay? King of Wands just looks at the 10 of Cups, calls it, manifests it in his life, manifests the love, manifests the connection, manifests the success, both worldly and spiritual. There's nothing that says that you can't be worldly successful, right? By all means. By all means. There's really good things coming up for you. And I do feel that you will maintain a very healthy sense of pride through this whole thing, a pride and dignity in spite of this, right? And maybe that's really what needs to happen, because pride and dignity is maintained often through humility. It's when we try to push through when we can often be like, one thing I can really think of is like some kind of stupid teen movie where like not the main character, but like the sidekick to the main character tries to act all tough and tries to do something, and then obviously something embarrassing happens to them. Like that's more of what that devil really is, you know? But to maintain your sense of dignity, sometimes it does mean to walk away. Sometimes it does mean to turn something down. Sometimes it does mean to fail. Really no such thing as a failure anyway, but sometimes that's what it means. And as long as you can walk away with your head held high, you're good to go. You may be dealing with someone who is not living within their dignity right now. You know, someone who's not living within their realm of control. And like maybe you're even looking at someone, you'll be like, oh my God, like maybe you're even embarrassed. Like I'm embarrassed for you. There's a great deal of Leo power coming through, which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing for the world, you know, when Leos are manifested positively and living according to what their heart desires, you know. In a way, you do stand as a leader because not a lot of the zodiac signs, I'd say fire is really the best at it. Air can be good at it too. Earth and water struggle a little bit, but to like say, my heart is saying this, my soul wants this, and to just know. Like a lot of people are like, I don't know what my soul wants. Well, Leo just kind of knows. So here's Temperance. There's 2 cards of Sagittarius coming out. Maybe you're dealing with a Sagittarius or someone that has that kind of energy right now. Meaning they are slippery. Maybe they're not the most attainable. Maybe they're a little evasive, but they're also very much there. It's like they're there, but not there at the same time. They're coming through beautifully. I'm happy that it actually was the Court card combined with the Major Arcana card, which does tell me that they're, you know, it's a high quality individual. I feel like this individual is actually on a search for higher meaning as well. Again, they don't have to be a Sagittarius. They can be a Scorpio or a Pisces or Gemini or whatever. But this person you're dealing with, I don't know that they are as strong as you. Okay, let me tell you what I'm feeling. Really weird situation that I'm feeling. There's obviously a caring of each other's well-being. They're a lot more free than you. When I say free, what I mean is they have their life, right? They have their life. They have their friends, they have their social circle, they have their stuff, they have their interests. In a way, because the Sagittarius energy is very teacher-like, you know, like a very much of a master, very Dalai Lama-like. I'm wondering if you've learned a lot about yourself, right? The devil, you've learned a lot about yourself through them. They're clearly still here, showing up. They're still in the cards. But in the past, maybe things were strange. I don't know. You both seem to be headed in the same direction. I'll put the camera down in just a second. But you're both headed and you're both looking at the same kinds of things. This person is looking toward temperance. You know, they're looking for balance. They're looking for something easy in their life. And I think they're actually looking to simplify their life as well. And you are looking at the 10 of Cups. Well, I'm sorry, but these are really similar. They're not the same, but they're really similar. And the devil comes out and suggests like maybe all the stuff from the past, all the stuff, like there's really actually no indication as to why this card is even coming through. With now that I'm like more through the reading, like I don't know why this card is coming out. Clearly everything's fine. You don't need to stress. You don't need to worry. Don't imagine problems that aren't there. Again, if you find yourself having a lot of problems, but you don't really have a substantial, concrete answer as to why those things are really there, look inside. And if there are issues with a person or a situation, a shift in attitude is everything. It's going to completely rewrite the story quickly. Pisces season can be a beautiful thing, but it can also be really hard when we get like a fantasy in our mind and we're like, oh my God, what if it's this? What if this person really doesn't like me? What if they're cheating on me? What if they're having an affair? What if they're trying to hire someone else? What if they're going to fire me? And like sometimes our minds will connect with something and it will just run away. And then it turns into this whole big thing just because of someone's tone of voice kind of triggered you. That's the essence of like what's going on in the sky. It's all very like, whoa, like, whoa, just like relax. That's why I'm telling everyone, just relax. Like, don't take anything too far right now, because you could be really missing out on something like freaking amazeballs. Amazeballs. Can I say? Sorry. I have to, it's just, you could be missing out. To transmute the devil into the 10 of Cups, to take everything in moderation, to take it day by day. When I talk about your dignity, like there are going to be some Leos. Guys, listen, don't be this Leo. Don't be the Leo that doesn't live in their dignity. Silence is golden, right? That's what they say. Silence is golden. I didn't say this before. I'm sighing because I'm like, oh no, a whole new narrative just came through. This is a time, a Mercury retrograde, especially in Pisces, this is a time when people can't really keep secrets. People are incredibly transparent. It's all very obvious. And you yourself are very obvious as well. And when things are bubbling up from the self-conscious from the subconscious or the unconscious realm to be dealt with, to be, rectified or acknowledged in the physical conscious world, it's really hard to contain or put a lid on that kind of pressure cooker. So there are going to be some Leos who explode. They are not the Leos living in their dignity. It's the choice between looking at the devil or looking at the 10 of Cups. That's the choice. Which one are you going to choose? A lot of Leos are going to choose this because they attach to a delusion. Don't try to read between the lines right now. You're probably going to be wrong. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Especially in romantic relationships as Venus comes into Aquarius. Especially. Chariot. This is card of Cancer, ruler of your 12th house. There's a lot of emotions. I know. There's a lot of potential for drama. There's a potential to be very extra this month, okay? And your dialogue between the rational mind and the irrational mind at odds. So again, remaining in that seat of, because I really think this person is actually quite oblivious to everything that's going on up here and in here in you. And I really think that they think that everything is really fine. Like they don't know. They just don't know. So unless you explode and just like Pisces season vomit on them, just bleh, they're going to be fine and everything's going to be just fine. And, if some of you are dealing with, like I said, slippery people, like they come in and out of your life and all of that, keep your dignity. Keep your dignity. Humble yourself. And sometimes humility is found through simple acceptance of what is. And it is through the acceptance of what is, like the the pharaoh doesn't try to change the Sphinx. He merely guides them. And so it's like your soul saying, okay, I acknowledge you, rationale. I acknowledge you, irrational mind. I acknowledge all this stuff. I acknowledge what you're doing. I acknowledge what you're saying. But you know what you got to do. And you know what to do. And I can't say for sure what that is. It's a general reading. So, you guys are going to need to do the Four of Swords thing, do the meditation, think about it, allow those little water droplets from the icicles to come down and speak to you. So I got a new deck, the Thoth deck, very famous. I'm using it to supplement the reading instead of pulling 3 from the extra. Okay, so the Knight of Coins. Beautiful. It's a card of Virgo. Some of you may be dealing with a Virgo, or you may have Virgo energy showing up. Well, makes sense having Four of Swords. Four of Swords. Interesting. Truce. Maybe that's what it takes. Temperance. Truce. Let's talk about the Knight of Coins for a second. The Knight of Coins is methodical, grounded, really, really grounded. Even this card is actually very grounded, being a Capricorn energy coming through. What is Earth? It's slow. It's the only element that hardly moves. It moves, but really slow. And now it's advisable to move slowly, practically, methodically, the way a king would move, not the way a child would move. Okay? A king who is complete, a king who awaits his inspiration. A Knight of Coins is one of servitude, right? The Virgo archetype. You've got a lot of 6th house energy. Okay, so it's one of care. I think there's a great deal of caring going on between two people, or you in a situation, you care about this whole thing. And that's why you may be working yourself up into an emotional frenzy. Your heart is invested. You love, you care, and you probably want nothing more in this world than to have the opportunity to give it your all, to be all in. Whether life affords you that opportunity or not is still yet to see. Calling a truce within yourself. What did I say? Calling a truce between your polarity and your duality. Accepting both. Not trying to change anything inside of you, because what's going on inside of you is fucking perfect. Okay? The emotions that you feel are perfect. It's just a matter of learning how to separate yourself from them and not being a victim or a slave of them, which you do through meditation. And those books that I read, that I mentioned, get those books. And just allowing peace to wash over you. Because a peaceful person can indulge in a 10 of Cups and say yeah, I created this, right? Yeah, I know how to be a 10 of Cups at any given moment. I know how to do that. I know how to be that. So let's look at the devil now. Let's clarify that. Scorpio energy counts for the emotions. And the sun going through the 8th house. It makes sense. It makes sense that you're probably feeling very sexual. You're probably feeling, you know, just really intense well, you guys, it's really going to work out okay. It really is. You don't have to control anything. You're going to have all the answers that you feel like you think you need, right? Did I say this? These are going to be the cards that we'll cover in the comprehensive. So I usually talk for like an extra like 20 minutes, 25 minutes with the additional readings. So just FYI on that. Okay, Ace of Wands, beautiful. And card of passion, card of sexuality. Probably will be quite sexually charged, actually, for the next few months. So the sun connects with air, or goes through 8th house and then into Aries and the 9th house and through Taurus. Deep sexual energy. A lot of breakthroughs for you. Why is temperance? It's like the thing. Oh, King of Wands coming out again. Temperance is like the thing that kills you. Leo doesn't like to be temperate. Likes things to be passionate and kind of intense, and it likes it to be out of this world, amazing. And this person you're dealing with is changing. They're finding a beautiful side of themselves. They just don't quite know what to do with it yet. You're being taken to the 10 of coins, okay? Faith is so important. For you to have faith that that's actually where you're going and that you're actually going to get that. Four of coins connecting with the devil here. I know I do. I pull a lot of cards. I always do every month. Okay. It gets messy in the comprehensive. We go a lot more, a lot deeper. Five of Wands, the Emperor. The dignity part. Oh, 10 of Cups again. 10 of Cups, 10 of coins. So you can't have a 10 of coins until you have a 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups comes first. Knight of Swords reversed. That's going to be a thing. Just breathe and approach life with a sense of wonderment. Okay? That's going to be your saving grace. Wonder. Wondering what life could give. So I've clarified almost every card. That one's pretty self-explanatory. And I clarified the Four of Swords here, so it kind of goes hand in hand. So we'll talk about all of these on the website. If you want to join me, the link will be down below for the comprehensive reading. And if not, then I will see you next month. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.